Hi friends, I'm currently in a park and I propped you up on a tree. Today I'm going to be sharing my faith journey with you all and why I chose to be Catholic and why I am Catholic. Oh, my sister's FaceTiming. Sorry sister, I'm filming. I grew up cradle Catholic, which means I was born and raised into a Catholic family. I am one of 6 kids, so here's my crazy if my mom lets me post the rest of my siblings on there, here's a picture of the rest of my crazy family. I just have a little baby brother, which is very exciting. He's 1 year old. I'm from Wisconsin. I've lived in Wisconsin my whole life until this semester abroad. And I have always been like part of a practicing Catholic family. So I've gone to Sunday Mass and we would pray occasionally. I went to a Catholic school, kindergarten through 8th grade, and then I went to a public high school. So I got like two different like perspectives of secular and Christian private school, which was really cool. I'm really glad I got to do it that way. And now I'm at UW Madison, which is not Catholic, but there's a really amazing Catholic group on campus. I rarely read the Bible. I was really bad at reading the Bible. That was the one thing throughout like growing up. I never read the Catechism or the Bible except in my religion classes. And I had very little knowledge of what my faith actually was. But I did go to a Catholic school, kindergarten through 8th grade, and a lot of people would be like, oh, well, you know a lot from Catholic school. You don't really learn that much from Catholic school, I'm gonna tell you. You learn who Jesus is, you learn about the Eucharist, you learn like the basic stuff, but you don't really retain or learn that much unless you're actually using it or practicing it or like find value in what you're learning. Oh, there's a family. I did teach Sunday classes. We called them like faith formation classes to 7th and 8th graders for my senior year of high school. And that was very, very fun. I learned a lot by actually like teaching it to them. And I kind of realized, I was like, oh, I really don't know that much. And I remember this one quote from a retreat that said, God does not call the equipped, he equips the called. So remember that. Okay, so senior year of high school. 17-year-old Allie thought she had her life together. Like I was gonna go to UW Madison, I was gonna be a doctor. I had a boyfriend for like the whole year of senior year, and then into college. I had a lot of friends, like really good quality friends that I really loved. And I was in 2 varsity sports. So I was like smooth sailing, enjoying it. I think I was the fittest I've ever been in my life in my senior year of high school too. And it was nice. It was nice. I went to college though and was kind of like smacked in the face because it was my first time alone and I didn't know what to do. I remember a month before college I emailed the Badger Catholic president, so the Catholic club at my university, and I said, hey, how do I join? And she eventually offered me like a position on staff. UW-Madison clubs, you can be staff and like paid for work you do if it's like all open to all students on campus, which is really cool. And I ended up leader of the encounter team, which was the team that like did tabling outside. You know those tables that like try to advertise stuff to you? That was what I got to do. And I got to set up really cool fun events. Swing dances, movies, Family Feud, trips to pumpkin patches, a talent show. It was so fun. And up until I went to Spain, I did that for 2 years. I remember walking into my Catholic student center for the first time. Didn't know it existed. I was only there because I had a Badger Catholic meeting. And that first week I went for Badger Catholic meetings and not really anything else except for Mass on Sunday. And I quickly realized, I was like, these people are crazy. Like they were wearing super nice clothes every day. They were praying daily rosary, going to Mass daily. They were praying morning prayer, didn't know what that was at the time. Which, if you don't know what morning prayer is, it's part of this thing called Liturgy of the Hours, where it's not for religious life. Religious life do it though. Where you pray basically a bunch of like Bible passages and then other prayers in between. And there's a morning prayer, there's I think a midday, an evening, and a night prayer, and there might be more. They would go to these things and I'd be like, I don't fit in at all with any of these people. They like know so much more than me. So I was trying to make like friends, you know, classic freshman experience, trying to go to parties, trying to like talk to everybody, trying to try new clubs and whatever else. And I quickly realized that the secular parties weren't actually as fun as people like made it out to be. And like I still love going to parties with my roommates, but it's a different experience when you go to like a Catholic party. I could go and nobody was getting like drunk or trying to do things with each other. And so it was nice, like you trusted people and you felt respected and you could still have a great time without worrying about taking care of people who didn't make the best decisions. I also noticed everybody at the church was so cliquey. Like everyone had their friend group. You couldn't really join one unless you were at their summer camp that they worked for. Or for me, it was in Badger Catholic was how I found a lot of my friends, and that was only because I was on staff. So I really tried. Like me, I like to make a friend group, and then once I'm comfortable with the friend group, I literally talk to everybody around me if my friends are there. So I have no problem inviting other people in, and I think that's something that the Catholic student centers need to do a better job on, is inviting people and making them feel included in a group and not talking about things that people don't know. Because like it's good to talk about it and to like educate people, but not all the time. Like you want to include people in conversations too. I was in a relationship, as I said, and there were times where I was like, this has gone too far, but I still stayed in that relationship the entire first semester and then until February. And I met these amazing guys. Surprise! These like really good Catholic guys in my friend group at my Catholic church center. There were these guys who were like so much more mature, and they would pray all the time, and they seemed so happy with life. And it was something I've never experienced with guys from high school, and it was like really impactful. I was like, wow, I want a guy like that. And I'm not to say like my ex was like a bad guy. He was such a good guy, but it was just like we were both like young and we both had some maturing to do still. So like me seeing what I'll have in a couple years, like that maturity really inspired me to like grow into my faith life, to like become a good wife someday, become a good Catholic woman someday. And honestly, not gonna lie, a lot of the things I started doing for faith, like going to morning prayer, were for guys because I wanted to be impressive to them. But nevertheless, whatever reason I did it for, I still do it, and I love it, and I fell in love with Jesus in a completely new way just by praying and going to mass and seeing him every single day on that altar. And once you realize that that's actually Jesus you're visiting, it's not some like super boring service you have to go to. It's such a beautiful sacrifice you get to witness every time. That's actually Jesus on the altar with the body and blood. And that is just the best thing for your day. The amount of grace that you get from that is just amazing. In the second semester of my freshman year, I went on this retreat. All of my Catholic Madison people know this retreat because it is drilled into your head the second you walk in there that you should go on this retreat called SPK, St. Paul's Koinonia, and Koinonia means community in... Is it Latin? I don't know. Okay, sorry. Koinonia means community, though, in some language. I went on this retreat. It's super secret, so I can't tell you anything about it, which is very irritating, right? I went, and it changed my life. So if you go to Madison and you have a chance, go on the SBK retreat through St. Paul's Catholic Student Center. It taught me the love that a community built on Christ has for each other. After that, I started going to daily mass like fairly consistently, and I went to morning prayer more. I think I started my daily rosary really close to then. I might have started it a little bit before then, but I did start my daily rosary then. The amount of grace and like happiness and pure joy that comes from doing all those things, I can't even explain to you like what it's done for my life and what it could do to yours if you just start, because you're not gonna feel anything the first time you pray a rosary. You just have to keep at it, because someday you'll realize, it'll dawn on you and be like, wow, that like changed my life. Like I have a lot more joy and peace, and I'm getting things done during the day. Okay, I did this thing called Totus Tuus over the summer, 2 summers ago. Basically like a Bible camp, but we switched churches, and it was for kids. And it was super intense. That we had the morning program with little kids and then an evening program with teens. And it was so good for my faith life. We did so much prayer. We did a holy hour every morning. That changed my life. I realized how much you can get done if you do a holy hour in the morning, which seems like, oh, you're taking a whole hour out of your day. You're actually like putting in so many more hours somehow, because somehow you just get everything done if you pray about it. That really solidified my faith. Totus tuus. And actually in October, I discerned being a religious sister for basically the whole month, and I went on a come and see, and I did a lot of research, and I still am like very open to that. Like if I became a sister, I think that'd be so cool. Like they have each other in Christ, and it's just this amazing community where you can pray and serve people, which sounds so awesome. I can talk about like my discernment story later, but I discerned that I feel called to marriage because I really want my own children to raise. If I have twins, I'm going to dress them the same and I'm going to prank people. So we'll see where it goes. I went on a lot of dates after that with like, after October with like people from the church, and they're all amazing men. And now I'm single in Spain, which has been amazing. I love being a single woman. A single Catholic woman is so nice because you can just have Jesus as your best friend. I have this one quote that says, "It's okay if he doesn't love you because I do," and it's like from God. It's like a text message, which is so beautiful. So why am I Catholic? In a summary, because I believe that God is real, that Jesus came to save us, and that Jesus is present on the Eucharist every day that you go to Mass. Those beliefs and the practice of those beliefs have made me so purely happy. My favorite compliment to get from people is, "You're just so happy all the time. Like, how do you find so much joy?" And I'm like, thank you. And then I get to explain why I'm happy. I'm happy because I have Jesus, and he's like my best friend. I know there's a lot of like past issues with Catholicism and issues people have with Catholicism. So if anyone ever has questions, like feel free to DM me on the Instagram or comment something and I can try my best to answer. I have the philosophy of the truth is super important, and the truth needs to be combined with compassion and love and understanding. Truth and love together, because if you just give someone the truth, they're not going to really understand why, and they're going to think you're just doing it to like put them down, because that's the natural human reaction. But if you really try to understand where Catholicism is coming from, it actually makes a lot of sense. And it's all based off of love, which love in a pure term in a Catholic sense too is love is to will the good of the other, which is a beautiful definition, and I will always use that definition when I describe love. Sometimes you tell someone they can't do something they want to do, but it's because it's for their own good. And I think that's like a whole lot of Catholicism too, is sacrifice and trying to help others. Why I'm Catholic? Because it gives me so much time during the day. I feel so much joy. I have the best friends in the world because we're all trying to get to Christ together, and that's what our friendship's based on. I get to strive for something every day with the hope of getting to heaven. So I hope you all get to join me in heaven someday, and I will be praying for that. And if you have questions, let me know. So bye guys.